working.
Okay. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I must apologize for my late arrival. Some of you are very familiar with the current news regarding the Premiership footballer, Patrice Lumumba. He came to me, was brought to me as a 12-year-old boy because the parents said he couldn't learn maths, and the school said he couldn't learn maths. And I worked with him, and lo and behold, after 9 months, he became the best in school, and he then went on to get a scholarship because he then did maths 1 whole year earlier ahead of his colleagues. So you know how I feel being here today when he's in hospital and we don't know what's happening. I just let it fall, and I'll probably be rushing back to the hospital to be with the father. So he's an African son, and I would want us to just observe 30 seconds where I'm wishing him well, because I can't really understand how a fit young man, 23, can have a heart attack in the middle of the match. So our thoughts and our prayers are with him. That's essentially the reason why I came this year. So you can just observe for half a minute.
Doc, you got the thing here.
Sorry. So if you can just observe for half a minute, wishing Fabrice a very speedy recovery. Thank you very much. My brief today is to essentially examine whether or not ICT can significantly boost any economy, especially when it's a non-oil economy. That's really my brief today. And every single person in the room would have heard about the state of Qatar, which is very oil rich. But I'm not sure most people have heard about Bangalore, India. Bangalore is a city in India. It's not very popular because it hasn't got that much oil. The one thing that has really informed me in this presentation is understanding very critically that the biggest resources we have on earth is the human brain. We can have some gold, we can have some diamond, and that can be explored and that can be exploited. But if we understand the mental capacity of the average human being, that we're all born with 1 million cells, that's 1 billion cells. And every human being has so much neurons that if you take 1 neuron, that's just 1 cell alone. IBM ran some experiment recently. 1 human cell can add faster than a calculator, divide faster than a calculator, multiply faster than a calculator. And then they repeated the experiment and changed the whole set of networks. That means link the computers together and still tested 1 human cell against a network of computers and still found that 1 human cell was still able to defeat the computer. They have now concluded that the entire NASA network of computers cannot compete with 1 neuron of a human being. So it tells you the phenomenal power and the mental capacity that we all are endowed with. And so if we train the brain or expose the brain to devices that were designed to ease the working of the brain, the sky cannot be the limit. We'll redefine the sky, because we've redefined the sky, we've gone beyond the sky, we've gone to the moon. What really strikes me about Bangalore is that Bangalore, India does not have diamonds. But Bangalore, India is the richest single city in the whole wide world. I'm not exaggerating, because every single American firm has come out with a clear indication that they cannot exist in technology without having a branch in Bangalore. And the Forbes list confirms that the next decade, when we're looking at the fastest growing cities, is Bangalore. It has 11.52 billion US economy, and 80% of this is completely independent of the local economy. What did they do? Because I've been privileged to be invited to China and India, and have taught more Indians than any other group of people in my life. What did they do? They realized the phenomenal power of the mental capacity of boys and girls, and therefore exposed them to technologies and techniques that redefine numeracy. So if you have a single degree in maths, if you have a single degree in any of the numerical sciences, you were retaught in any of the IITs, that's the Indian Institute of Statistics and Technology, where every single student was exposed to logical thinking and programming. So ladies and gentlemen, today you came into this room through that door and probably through Victoria Station. May I tell you that when you put in your Oyster card through the barrier, your Oyster card is not being checked in London. It's being checked by a piece of program that was written by a group of students, youth in Bangalore, India. So, which makes me wonder, why is it that my geography teacher told me that cities are a subset of nation? Because Bangalore has demonstrated to the economy of India that the economy of one city alone dwarfs that of the nation. And they don't have oil. Or they have a group of computer programmers. If you were in California today and you went to see your doctor, and your doctor needed to write a letter for you to go to the local hospital, guess what? That letter is being written by somebody in Bangalore. So can you see how cheap it is? Because using the era of connectivity and the fact that every single human being on earth now, because statistics produced only last week confirmed that we now have more mobile phone handsets than humans on the planet. That means we're all now connected. Have we thought of exploiting it? I'll give you two examples. Every single person in this room has a mobile phone. We have the capacity to send text messages. Whoever told you what you bought was a mobile phone misled you. Because phones do one thing. They make calls and receive calls. The minute your phone was able to send one text message, it became a microcomputer. The minute your phone was able to then send an email, it became a mini office. So the minute you can send and communicate in such a way that, as I'm talking to you now, with just my daughter sitting there and pointing things at me, the entire presentation I'm having with a little webcam is being relayed live on air, so people can watch it in Beijing, China, people can watch it anywhere. So that's the reason why I'm saying I'm making a proposition. It's not just an academic proposition. It's a demonstrable proposition that anybody in this house that has a mobile phone and has unlimited text has the capacity to flood every single business that we have today. Just sending a text message to somebody on behalf of your barber saying that come to my barber's shop at 10 o'clock on Thursday is half price, or a shoemaker. That's business. That's much serious than drilling for oil and exploiting oil and hoping that oil doesn't get finished and hoping that the new car that comes out still uses oil. The oil that we've been given is the oil of our brain. And I would like to conclude by saying that the distinctive thing about Bangalore was that it split the entire city into 3 zones. The first zone was the software part of India, they call it software part of India. The second one was the international tech park, and the last one was the electronic city. Except the accident, except for the accident of an earthquake, I'm predicting the way this Indian city is going, New York will be relegated to a 4th position by the year 2025. That's the prediction. What we now know of California, being one of the richest of the 52 states, will be completely dwarfed. Not by a new mineral, not by a new gold, but by the instancy of technology and the ability to imaginatively exploit it in such a way that everybody here now, if I was going to ask for a show of hands, 80% of all of us here have a mobile phone that has a video capacity. That means you can record an event And that same event can be uploaded right onto YouTube in a matter of minutes. And owning a channel on YouTube is free. So that means everybody in this room is a BBC or a CNN. You're a massive multinational broadcasting service. Somebody used to joke that in Lagos State they have a Lagos State television station, and if you were fighting an election against the might of the federal power, you cannot fight because you have NTA, and NTA gets across the whole nation. The Lagos State television only broadcasts to Lagos State, right? That was a limitation. Yes? That's my grandfather technology, because by today's technology, anybody in Lagos State is able to broadcast not just to the whole of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, but not just to the whole of Africa, but to the whole of the world. Just going to ustream.com. Anybody can form a channel, and it takes a matter of seconds. So you don't need 15 PhDs in computing, because that's a lie. The devices that we have are so simplified. That is a shame for anybody to say in 2012 he or she is unemployed or unemployable, when a 7-year-old can pick up an iPhone and be able to just press a few buttons and talk to somebody in Afghanistan for free. They call it Skype. Technically, it's called voice over IP. It was unimaginable, it's totally unimaginable 20 or 15 years ago that you can have a mobile phone making a call to another mobile phone for free. So I hope the audience can have a sense of the feeling to say that today the world is split into two sets of people, the poor and the rich. The poor being those that are averse to technology and therefore don't want to use technology. The rich are those that are able to not just use technology, that's not what I'm asking for, is exploit technology. That means use it beyond what is divine of it. So it would be insulting for anybody to be able to have an iPhone and regard himself as poor. You are not poor. Having an iPhone means that you are one of the 1% highest earner in terms of paying taxes. You'll be able to make £40,000 every single month on the basis of iPhone, without talking of pornography. Because Khan's Academy has put on the internet every single thing I learned from year 1 in primary school to when I was giving my doctorate. Khan's Academy put it available to anybody. So just log into that and download it onto your iPhone makes you a working encyclopedia. And having the multimedia capacity defies me that anyone now can come back and say Bangalore is unique. The only thing unique about Bangalore is the discovery and the personal realization by the leadership of the 1980s that computing devices can be networked. And if they can be networked, you don't need to live in Lagos to work in Lagos. You don't need to live in California to work in California. You don't need to live in London to work in London. You can sit down in a little shop in Oshobo. All you need is capacity to be able to power your so-called BlackBerry and upload and download data. So you are now a data communicator and a data agent and an agent of information. So that's essentially what I'm proposing here today. And I can bet to you that whatever I said today will be uploaded on my website, which is at chrisimafidon.com or Twitter at chrisimafidon.com. And a few people are already tweeting about what I've just said now. So it means that we are really in a true global village. Nothing can happen in any part of the earth that cannot be relayed instantaneously for free.
Thank you.
That's this generation. I thank you very much.
Thank you very much.